If you give me a few minutes of your time, I will reflect to you how to leave the mind alone so that your desires can materialize with ease. Okay? Before we get started, I want to say that you have your desires now. You have them right now in this moment. I'm not saying that to be gimmicky. I'm not saying that because I gain anything from you believing that or from hearing that. I'm saying that because it's the truth. I have no reason to lie to you. It's the truth. You have your desires now. You're just overlooking it. And the reason you're overlooking it is because there's a lot of attachment to what you call your mind, which is just a bunch of thoughts. And also the felt sensation within the body that feels like you. That feels like, yeah, let's just say you. So just give me a few minutes and I'll reflect to you how to leave the mind alone, or I'll transmit to you. This is going to be a potent video. I know I said last video was potent. This video is just going to be just as potent because it's going to be a transmission to see that, you know, once you shed all of your beliefs, all of the ideas of what you think you should do to get your desires, it will materialize with ease. So let me tell you what this video is not. I am not here to give you new beliefs. I am not here to give you new techniques. I am not here to give you more information, to learn something new, to understand. This is what this video is not. This is a total shedding of everything you've been taught about manifestation. This is a total shedding of everything you've been taught about what you should be doing or what you need to do in order for your desire to materialize. Right? So this is not what this is not. What we're doing is we're removing the veil that is preventing you from seeing what I said in the beginning, that you already have your desires now. The only reason why you don't see that is because you're overlooking, or you're looking through the lens of separation, which is created from the conditioned mind. And what is the conditioned mind? The conditioned mind is, if you look around your room right now, what's labeling, what's saying, this is green, this is a leaf, right? This is a bush, this is a hand, this is a nose. That's the conditioned mind. It's going on all the time. All the time. It's going on, right? That's your conditioned mind. That is what's creating your experience. So this is why people will say to you, change your thoughts to change your world. It's a lot of truth in that, because when you change your thoughts, you change the filter through which you see the world. And I'm telling you to leave it alone. Because I'm telling you, even that is too much effort. Even that is doing too much. Let it be. Leave the mind alone. Okay? So, people who love control will have a hard time hearing this. I feel like it would start raining. It would start raining right now. Are you kidding me? This is going to be a short video. But people who love control will have a hard time hearing this. People who love certainty will have a hard time hearing this, even though you are in conscious creation. If you are consciously manifesting your experience, you are consciously manifesting your life. The idea of loving control, it's always going to be your hindrance, because you can't control the how. You don't know the how. It's not your job to know the how. But people who love control will have a hard time hearing this, and also people who love knowledge. I know. I'm also a fellow knowledge lover. I love spiritual knowledge. I love intellectualizing it. I think it's fun. I think it's nice to be able to communicate what's being said. But what I am speaking of requires no communication. Okay, it's raining. I was gonna try to just let it be. Let's see if we go under. All right, guys, we're in a new location. I was like trying to make it work by staying there, but it was raining and it was coming down. So, like I was saying, if you love knowledge, you're going to have a hard time hearing this. If you are very logical, analytical, you're going to have a hard time hearing what's being said. And you're not going to have a hard time. And I say this to my group all the time. I say this to my clients. I say this to the group inside of the Ease Experiment, which we are going into week 2. And you can still sign up. It's $42 if you want to sign up for the Ease Experiment. We're only 1 week in. So check out information down below. But I say this to my group too. I say, you know, you're not going to be able to understand this. Like what I am speaking about, and shout out to Charlie, because Charlie's like, The infinite, we cannot understand the infinite with the finite. Like the finite mind cannot understand the infinite. And that's just facts. So that's why I say, if you love knowledge, if you love control, if you love to intellectualize, if you love to know and have certainty, what's being communicated is going to be extremely, one, you can't understand. I'm telling you right now, you can't understand. And I feel like me saying that, you're still going to try to find out a way to understand what I'm saying, instead of just accepting, throwing your hands up and saying, okay, I'm not going to be able to understand. And I wanted to share this scripture from Matthew 19:24. It says, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, for a long time, I thought that meant, if you're rich, you can't, right? Or because you have so many possessions, you can't take that to heaven with you, or like it meant something against the rich. Like, this is why rich people are evil or bad, right? For a long time, when I didn't have the correct interpretation of this scripture. But now I see it as the reason why it's easier for a poor man to enter the kingdom of heaven than it is for a rich man is because the poor, all it means is being attached, like having attachments. So the rich man, with all of his knowledge, let's think of you as the rich man or woman. I know mostly women. So you're the rich woman. You have all your knowledge. You have all of your spiritual ideologies and ideas and experiences. You know so much. You have a strong attachment to your identity about who you believe yourself to be. Even if you have a spiritual identity, you still have an attachment to the spiritual identity. You are rich. So that is why it is easier for a man who knows absolutely nothing about this, who's never heard of, like non-duality, who's never heard of manifestation, who's never heard of spirituality. It's easier for them to enter the kingdom of heaven because they don't have any knowledge to compare it to. But it's still hard for them because they're existing in a world. And like, when you just live in a world and you take yourself to be like the fragmentation of the all, then you are attached to that fragmentation, and it's going to be harder for you to enter the kingdom of heaven, where the poor man with no attachments, which means with nothing grasping onto about this reality, will enter the kingdom of heaven much easier. So that is my desire for you. It's just through listening, not through me giving you any techniques, but just through listening and feeling that resonance, that there is a part of you that is already in possession of your desires. There's a part of you that already has, right? So that is what we're shaking. That's okay. We're shaking. But that is what's being communicated here. So it's not about giving you, like I said, more information, more knowledge. It's about seeing that you are the one who perceives all knowledge, all information, yet you remain. Yet you remain. And you don't have to do anything to become what you already are, right? This is not about spirituality. This has nothing to do with spirituality. I was talking to my client, Kay, the other day, and she's like, I don't care about all this spirituality stuff. I just want to get my desire. And I said, girl, I get you. Because guess what? This is not about spirituality. This has nothing to do with spirituality. This is your natural way of existing. But because it's hard to communicate what this is, people have used like very poetic language around it. And through that poetic language, because it's hard to just say this is what it is, because you can't say this is what it is, people have formed religions and movements around something that's so ordinary. That's so ordinary because it's just your experience. It's just this. It's just what is. And just notice that it's going to be a thought that says otherwise. It's going to be your mind saying, this is not my desire, this reality. This is not what I want. I don't like this. I don't want this. I want this. That's just a thought. Just see that. It's just a thought. It has nothing to do with your now experience. Your now experience that you are overlooking because it's too ordinary, because it's not fulfilling. The only reason why you think it's not fulfilling and it's too ordinary is because you're thinking that. But when you just get in touch with it, when you're just here with it, there's nothing ordinary about this experience. And also, I think when you're so rich in your spiritual knowledge and just your knowledge in general, you start to project what like being God looks like what being a conscious creator look like, what being lucid in a dream looks like. So again, you dismiss your experience as it is now. Like, this can't be it. This is too ordinary. Once I'm God, once I really know, then I'll be able to fly, and I'll be able to zap, and I'll be able to time travel, and I'll be able to do all these things. And it won't look like this. This is the 3D. I don't want nothing to do with the 3D. When this is actually it. There's nothing ordinary about this. And when you abide in the self, rest in the self, rest as what you are, beyond the mind, you just watch the mind. You just watch and you just notice that these things come and go. You do not come and go. You see that there's nothing ordinary about what is. It becomes alive in this richness because you see that it's all you. It is not separate from you. Because there is no you that's separate from life, right? This idea of being a you has always just been an idea. So once you see through that idea, you see that there really is no separation between your environment and what you've been taking to be yourself. It's all the same thing. It's just consciousness appearing as this. That's what becomes evident when you leave the mind alone. And actually, you can't leave the mind alone. It just happens. But through engaging with content like this, engaging with other content that's pointing at this, the transmission becomes obvious. It starts to happen for you, but you can't intellectualize your way into this. You just can't. I tried for so long. I tried for so long to try to understand what was being said, and I was angry and I was frustrated because I felt like people knew something that I didn't when they didn't. It was just this seeing that, like, oh, I'm not the thoughts in my head. I'm not anything. I mean, I'm not just that, right? I won't say I'm not the thoughts in my head, because I am, but I'm not just that. That is a fragment of the all. And I've been mistaking my identity for that, which is why I've been looking through the world through this separated, isolated lens and trying to get back to happiness through and thinking that I was missing something and that I was lacking something. So I'm trying to manifest what I don't have. As soon as I saw through that, I accepted that I am the everything and I have everything. And now reality just continues to materialize around this truth. Right? This is why I get to now. I mean, we're in Thailand now. We're going to Indonesia in a couple of weeks. We were in Malaysia starting off. We're just traveling the world. This is why I get to do this. Because I stopped fighting. I stopped trying to make my dreams a reality. This is why I have 70 beautiful souls inside of a offer that I came up with on a walk and then started talking about 2 days later, and I have 70 people that signed up. And they're having amazing results. And I'm having the most fun I've ever had in an offer. This is why me and my partner who left me when I was 6 months pregnant, now we're in a healthy, loving, committed relationship where we've both healed from everything that we were going through with each other. And now my daughter has 2 parents and we love her so much. Where for a long time people said, you just go be a single mom and you just gotta be okay with that. And I said, I will not accept that, because that's what I have now. Is this is what I have now. Even if people can't see it, I know I don't need reality to rearrange in order for me to know the truth, because I am not separate from anything. So this is all that I'm communicating to you. You have your desires now. There's nothing ordinary about your experience as it is now. Become curious about it. I know people inside of my Ease experiment, they're like, I say the word curious, investigate, explore so damn much, because you need to become like a child again and enter the kingdom of heaven. You need to stop thinking that if I read another book, if I watch another video, if I do the next technique, I'll get my desire, because that's projecting it. Why do you need to do in order to get when you already have? There's nothing in your immediate experience that's denying you of your desire. And if there is, that's the power of our imagination. That's why I love Neville Goddard, because he taught me about how it's all just imagined. We all imagine it anyway. And that's when you can start to really play with that part of the self, the imagination facilities. But not so much that you're trying to use it to control and manipulate, just for the joy of imagination, just for the joy of creating, not to make something happen. That's why I say leave the mind alone. Just leave it alone. And what I mean by what you are, right? Close your eyes. Are you still aware? Is there a part of you that's still sensing? Even if you close your ears, if you cut off all of your sensations, there's still a part of you that's aware that all the sensations were cut off. That's what I mean by abide in the self, by be yourself, by be with the I am. You don't have to do anything to do that. You are already that now. It's just the channel of reality is calling for your attention. I often use the analogy of the TV and the screen. You are the screen, confusing yourself for a show. Like the show of your life is on right now, with the different colors, textures, sounds, people, objects, right? This is all a TV show as far as the analogy goes. But without the screen, this show would not be able, like think about a TV screen. Without that screen, even though the TV show seems to veil or cover up the screen, you know that screen is there, because if that screen wasn't there, there would be no show. And once you turn that show off, the TV screen it's shining. Now you see the TV screen, but the TV screen seems boring, right? Ain't nothing going on. That's how you are with the truth of who you are. It can seem boring. It's like there's nothing happening here, but actually it's giving rise to the experience. And also the experience is made of the TV screen. It's not like we're putting something on the TV screen. Like the image is coming out of the TV screen and made out of the same substance as the TV screen. The same thing with your experience. It's coming out of yourself and it's made of yourself. So it's all you. There is no separation. But when you forget that you're just a character in the TV screen and that you're actually the screen, and that regardless of what show is on, regardless if there's like a fire, if there's a bomb that drops, if there's a love scene, if everybody dies, the TV screen is not affected. Because you could just turn that show off and then the TV screen is just there. It's not scathed. Nothing happens to the TV screen. The same thing goes with you. Regardless of what you see on your screen of awareness, it does not affect who you are. So you have your desire now. Rest in the part of you that knows. And then the screen will kind of get like acclimated. Like you'll see that what's on the screen of awareness is just a match to this knowing. It's a match to this knowing. The only reason why you can't see your desires is because you're just looking through the lens of separation, isolation, lack, fear. There's nothing wrong with that either. It's just what's happening. But as soon as you see it, then like the gig's up. The jig's up? I think that's how you say it. The jig is up. So yeah, this is very simple. It's obvious. It's your experience now. And I will say a disclaimer that what tends to happen when the mind is seen through, it's not just who you are. Your worldview, your identity begins to expand into the everythingness, and that can feel a bit overwhelming. Everybody wants to be God. Nobody wants to be God. Everybody wants ease. Nobody wants ease. And the only reason why I say that is because these things sound good in theory. After talking with so many of my clients this week, after being inside of the group this week, I see that this stuff sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's actually really difficult because we are so used to living in stressful environments. So we become like acclimated to stress, that as soon as we are introduced to ease, there's almost this sense of like danger. Like it feels dangerous for it to be this simple, for it to be this easy, for things to feel this good, for things to go our way. It could feel a bit dangerous for us to be this powerful. So that's why it's important to work with building your capacity within your nervous system. And that's actually what we are talking about now in week 2 of the ease experiment. In the week 1, we focused a lot on just watching the mind. Now we're going into expanding the nervous system's capacity to hold the overflow that comes in from knowing experimentally, not through knowledge, but through direct experience that you are God, because that can be very overwhelming to people, which is why people go crazy, because they don't know how to register the amount of information that starts to come in. Like I said, your reality is nothing ordinary about it. You're just viewing it through a fragmented lens. But once you start to, or once it starts to happen for you, where it starts to settle, your perspective starts to settle and widen, you'll realize that you're taking in so much more information. And then that can feel overwhelming. And if people say, oh, I feel like I'm going crazy, or people experience dissociation, a lot of like not fun things happen. So I like to have like these safety nets in place. And one of the safety nets that are in place is going into the sensations themselves and like consciously teaching yourself how to hold your attention there, and even like create, like amplify the sensation so that you can teach your body how to hold it. Even when it's at its strongest, you teach your body how to hold it. It's like you are training. Yeah, you're training your nervous system. I had a mentor that says like the nervous system Olympics. You're just like training your nervous system how to hold this excessive amount of energy, so that once your perspective starts to settle and you're really starting to rest in the ease and flow of what is, and you see that ordinary is actually, there's nothing ordinary about it. It's actually, everything is alive with you. It's no longer this, oh my God, am I going crazy? It's like you see that even the thought of am I going crazy is just a thought. Like, it's just a thought. But the reason why we grasp to it is because it's the only thing that we have about reality when it feels too intense. But when you can feel the intensity and also see the thought, then you no longer have to cling onto the thought, because it's your form of reality. Okay? And with this, you can allow it to happen. You can get out of the way. Your desires materialize with ease. And you just recognize that you're always in this flow state, and there's nothing that you ever had to do. And because you just see the character or the fragmented part that you are taking yourself to be in this point in time, just going out and doing all the things. Okay? So I know that this is going to allow you to see through the mind's games, not to see the mind as an enemy or something that needs to be contained or made different, but just to see that it's a fragmented, small aspect of everything that you are. And you will not be able to understand this. This is not for your mind to get. This is not for that. This is simply a transmission so that intuitively you're like, oh yes, intuitively. Like, it's just, you know, without knowing how you know, but you know. That's what's happening here. Like, you don't know how you know, but you know. And a lot of times I know as women, men say that don't even make sense. But it's like, I can't tell you how I know. I just know. The same thing happens with this. But then, like I said, you have so many poets and mystics and Sufis and sages that come along and like talk about what this is, and then people form religions out of it, missing the point. The finger pointing to the moon is not the moon. It's just the pointing at what is. So that's all I got. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, join the ease experiment. It's $42 for now. I'll raise the price in a few days, and then that'll be the last time the price raised. Join the ease experiment. I love you all. I feel like I'm missing something, but yeah, bye.